At night, sleep can feel like something you should be able to do naturally. And yet, sometimes the mind is ready, but the body is not. You lie there, comfortable enough, and still restless. Often, the missing detail is not willpower. It is not the perfect pillow. It is something simpler. Temperature. Tonight on Curious Nights, the calm science of temperature. Why cool rooms help sleep. Our setting is a quiet bedroom at the end of the day. Dim light, still air, and a body that wants the night to gently take over. When we talk about temperature for sleep, it helps to separate two ideas: your environment and your body. The room has a temperature. Your skin has a temperature. And deeper inside, your core temperature is carefully regulated. Your body is always balancing heat production and heat loss. That balancing is not only about comfort. It is part of how the brain decides what state you are in: alert, active, or ready to sleep. Think of it like lighting in a room. Bright light tells you, stay awake. Dim light tells you, it is safe to wind down. Temperature can work in a similar way. Not perfectly, but reliably enough to matter. And this is why a cool room can feel like permission. A small environmental cue that supports what your biology is already trying to do. Shift into night mode. Your body runs on a daily rhythm. Hormones, alertness, digestion, and temperature all change across the day. And in most people, core body temperature gradually drops at night. This drop is not huge, but it is meaningful. It is one of the body's quiet signals that sleep is approaching. Like a gentle lowering of the system's intensity. To lower core temperature, the body needs to release heat. And one of the main ways it does that is by increasing blood flow near the skin. Especially in the hands and feet. Not because extremities are the most important parts, but because they are useful heat exchangers. If heat can leave the body efficiently, the internal temperature can drift downward. And that drift tends to support sleepiness. It makes the transition to sleep feel more natural. If heat cannot leave the body efficiently, the transition can feel harder. You may feel warm, restless, or slightly wired. Not because you are doing anything wrong, because the body is trying to cool down, and the environment is not helping. Now we come to the practical physics. How does heat actually leave your body at night? Mostly, in 3 gentle ways. First, heat moves from skin into the air and nearby surfaces. If the room is cooler than your skin, heat can flow outward. If the room is warm, there is less room for that heat to go. Second, air movement matters. Still air can act like a blanket. It holds a thin layer of warmth around you. gentle airflow can carry that warmth away. Not as a dramatic draft. Just enough movement to refresh the air near your skin. Third, moisture changes everything. When sweat evaporates, it removes heat. But if humidity is high, evaporation slows down. And then you can feel sticky, warm, and uncomfortable. Even if the temperature number does not look extreme. This is where bedding becomes part of the system. Fabric can trap heat, or it can allow heat and moisture to escape. Some nights call for insulation. Other nights call for breathability. And most nights, the most comfortable setup is adjustable. Warm rooms can interfere with sleep in a few common ways. Not for everyone, every night. But often enough that the pattern is worth knowing. 1. The body struggles to offload heat. So the natural nighttime cooling is slowed. Instead of drifting down into sleep, you can feel like you are hovering near wakefulness. 2. Discomfort becomes a background signal. Not always conscious, but present. A subtle itch of heat. A need to move. A search for the cool side of the pillow. 3. Sweating can fragment sleep. You may fall asleep, but wake more easily. Or wake briefly to adjust blankets. Or wake with a dry mouth and a warm neck. Small interruptions that add up. And there is a psychological layer too. When you are too warm, the body can interpret it as a cue for activity. Like being under bright light. It becomes harder to feel sleepy in a deep, settled way. So the cool room is not a magic trick. It is just a supportive condition. A quiet cooperation between your environment and your biology. Now we move to the comforting part. Small adjustments that can make the night feel easier. Not a new identity. Not a perfect routine. Just a calmer setup. First, aim for cool, not cold. If you feel tense or shivery, that can be its own problem. The goal is a room that helps you release heat while your bedding keeps you comfortable. Second, use layers you can change without thinking. A lighter blanket plus a heavier one nearby. A sheet that breathes. A throw you can pull on and off easily. Cozy control, instead of midnight problem solving. Third, consider gentle airflow. A fan on low. A vent that is not blasting directly at you. A slightly open door if it helps circulation. Small movement can make the room feel calmer. Fourth, pay attention to what touches you. Breathable sleepwear. Sheets that do not trap moisture. A pillow that stays comfortable instead of holding heat around your face. These are quiet details, but they matter at 2 in the morning. Fifth, a warm shower can sometimes help you cool down afterward. Not because warmth is the goal, but because stepping out into cooler air can encourage heat loss. It is one gentle way to support the nighttime temperature shift. And finally, keep it kind. If you have persistent insomnia, night sweats, or a medical condition that affects temperature regulation, it can be worth talking with a clinician. But for many nights, the simplest help is environmental. A cooler room, breathable layers, and permission to stop optimizing. Now we can gather this into a few calm points. Nothing to memorize. Just a simple explanation you can keep in the background. Sleep is supported by a natural nighttime drop in core body temperature. And a cool room can help your body release heat so that drop can happen more easily. Buffering, in streaming, is a reservoir that smooths out an uneven flow. For sleep, the environment can be a similar kind of support. It reduces friction. It makes the transition steadier. Warm rooms can make sleep harder because heat is harder to shed. So the body stays slightly more alert. Not as a failure, as a signal. And now, we return to the quiet bedroom. The light is low. The air is a little cooler. The room is not trying to wake you up. You can let your body do what it already knows how to do. Release a little heat. Slow the system down. Let the night take the edges off the day. If your thoughts wander, that is fine. If you adjust a blanket, that is fine. The goal is not performance. The goal is ease. This has been Curious Nights. The calm science of temperature. Why cool rooms help sleep. And now, you can let the room be cool, and let the mind be quiet.